Welcome to Cal State Fullerton's The Report with the latest news, views, and info to go. I'm Lena Agulian.
I'm Sarah Fenton.
I'm Hiba Berry.
And I'm Evan Boydston.
Today we will start by discussing some hot topics, including a new Exxon controversy and a Department of Defense program called Paid Patriotism.
Beyond our discussion, we have reports on current campus events, including possible tuition increases, an impending faculty strike, and interviews with members of Cal State Fullerton's Weightlifting Club.
And finally, we conclude with local and national news on the stabbing on the campus of UC Merced, more than 300 people arrested at a rave, and a death of a 9-year-old in Chicago.
But first, we'll begin with our segment called Hot Topics.
Last Friday, 40 of the nation's leading environmental and social justice groups came together to demand a federal investigation of ExxonMobil. The letter to Attorney General Loretta Lynch follows the release of recent articles published by Inside Climate News and the Los Angeles Times stating that the company has known since the 70s about the risk linked to fossil fuels and climate change. While the company states that it has no secrets, Exxon has funded science experiments that mainstream research have considered to be dubious by using a scientist at the Harvard-Smithsonian to show that recent climate change could be caused by solar variations. What actions, if any action, should be taken against Exxon for its part in the use of fossil fuels, with knowing about the possible long-term issues we now face?
I think money just drives
Everyone.
everyone.
The world is a business.
Yep.
That's true. But it's just, if they knew about it, they should have taken steps way back then when they first found out about it. Because now it's horrible that it's bad.
Well, they were playing on the fact that that there is a group that completely denies climate change. So then they can get away with saying there's a big group that denies climate change. So they can get away with saying what they were saying and whatnot. So they were kind of playing off the fact of that, then trying to profit on that. So, but yes, that definitely has kind of affected. We might have started researching other variations instead. Like we might have started different fuel sources instead. And research that earlier on than we are now. So that did kind of hinder progress.
And it could have saved us this whole climate change issue, even though it is about money always at the end of the day, like you said. I mean, it's a pretty big issue, and it's going to continue to be an issue because I feel like this isn't going to be settled very easily.
I don't think any action should really be taken against them, though, because, I mean, they definitely went around They definitely, they knew what they were doing was wrong. But, I mean, at the end of the day, everyone else was just going along with it. Instead of everyone else doing their research and digging deeper, then, granted, they did falsify, or they did have the Harvard guy falsify the information and whatnot, or whatever it was. But, yeah, so, I mean, I just think at this point, just move on. We'll just get over it. Then we'll see if their sales plummet or anything like that. Maybe don't use Exxon or something, so...
I mean,
I don't know. I think action should be taken against them just because, they've known about it for so long. We could have either taken preventative measures back then or done stuff in that span of time since they've known about it. And then I know it's money, and I know money drives them, and everything's a business. But if they knew about it and they knew the effects that could happen, why not do something about it then? They knew.
Yeah. This is our planet. We have to take care of it.
The Earth is literally melting away.
That is true. No, I agree.
We need it.
But it's maybe, a lot of other things should be taken into account. It's not just Exxon. There's so much more, I think, that goes with it.
NPR recently reported the Pentagon has been paying sports teams millions of dollars to promote patriotism at sports venues. Since 2012, the Pentagon has signed 72 contracts with teams within the National Football League, Major League Baseball, the National Hockey League, and Major League Soccer that are being considered paid patriotism. The Pentagon has said that the payments were a part of its military recruitment campaigns, but this practice has since been banned. In a statement released by Senator McCain, he states, quote, Americans across the country should be deeply disappointed that many of the ceremonies honoring troops at professional sporting events are not actually being conducted out of a sense of patriotism, but for profit in the form of millions in taxpayer dollars going from the Department of Defense to wealthy pro-sports franchises, end quote. He goes on to say, quote, fans should have confidence that their hometown heroes are being honored because of their honorable military service, not as a marketing ploy, end quote. With the large amount of money allotted, should the Pentagon have used the money this way? Could it instead have gone to providing more necessary equipment for troops currently out in the field.
Well,
it's a marketing campaign, you know, like we said earlier, the world is a business, unfortunately, and they're exploiting that in order to have patriotism. So what I don't think it's that. I mean, it is bad, but I don't think it's that big a deal because in order to get more troops and to rally up the country, this is part of their marketing campaign to get more people to possibly serve in the military because they're seeing this, they're seeing the honor, they enjoy that. It's like after 9/11, like the world came together and they pretty much rallied, and all the movies that were being made were feel good movies, like everything. It was all a marketing campaign. A lot of it was to get more people to sign up for the military. So it's something similar to that. I feel like, yeah, it's bad, but I mean, they're essentially going to be trying to get more recruits so they can have more people serve in the military.
I understand that, and that it's a marketing campaign, but sports franchises make so much money as it is already.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you these are heroes. These are hometown heroes, whether it's different states. Bringing them out to a game should not cost anything. Taxpayers, I mean, I wouldn't mind paying for it, but it should not cost anything, and it shouldn't go to the sports franchises. These are heroes that should be honored no matter what, and they should be out there because of what they've done. I get the marketing campaign side, but they deserve to be out there and to be honored by all the fans that are there at no cost.
Unfortunately, though, I feel like the sports teams, since they're trying to make money, they just be like, okay, we'll just get someone else then. You know, like they'll get a different group to come out and be represented instead. Like, yeah, they should be more willing to do, for free, have them come out for free. And you would think that's how it was, but unfortunately, that's not the case. So.
But either way, they do deserve to be out on whatever field it is being honored.
So are the teams are the teams buying this patriotism? Like, does it go to the sports franchise as a whole or like specific teams?
So it's going to like the NFL, the hockey league, all those leagues.
Right.
It's going to the franchises.
I see. Okay.
And I also agree they don't need any more money because they make millions of
so
dollars.
much money.
And it just takes out the genuineness out of it because these veterans have sacrificed their lives, and for them to be just like slapped with a marketing thing, it's really sad.
No, I definitely agree with that. It's just like if they knew what they were doing, then that's just as bad, you know. So.
Right. I agree with that too. A new panel suggests that the CSU system should institute tuition increases for California residents and out-of-state students and should begin year-round academic schedules, as well as provide campus funding based on graduation rates. The Los Angeles Times reports a 12-member university committee concluded that a reliance on state funding is no longer sufficient to expand enrollment, expedite the time it takes to earn a degree, and pay for badly needed technology and facility upgrades. Under Governor Jerry Brown's plan that provides incremental increases in state funding to higher education, the 23 Cal states have not raised fees in 4 years.
And in more Cal State news, nearly all of the unionized faculty members of the Cal State system voted Wednesday to strike amid a stall in bargaining for higher wages, so reports the OC Register. The union is seeking a 5% raise for the current school year and a 1.2% service salary increase. In a statement for the OC Register, Jennifer Egan, president of the California Faculty Association, said, quote, regardless of the end of the recession and the state's reinvestment in the CSU, our employer has decided what the faculty is worth, and it turns out that we are not worth that much to them, end quote. Michelle Barr, vice president of the Cal State Fullerton chapter of the California Faculty Association, said students would be notified before faculty members walk off the job, per the OC Register. Strikes can begin as soon as January.
The Veterans Resource Center will be hosting events all next week in honor of Veterans Day. Veterans Week will recognize those who have served or are still in the service. The week-long events will begin on Monday with a flag-raising ceremony at 9 a.m. in front of the Langsdorff Fountain and continue through Friday when the Titan Vets will face off against the ROTC Cadets in a flag football game you won't want to miss. The game starts at 2 p.m. on the intramural fields, so go out and pay your respects to the men and women in uniform. And don't forget there will be no classes on Wednesday in honor of the national holiday.
On Sunday, the Kansas City Royals won the 2015 World Series, beating the New York Mets. The Royals ended a 30-year drought without winning the Fall Classic, and it was all thanks to pinch hitter and former Titan Christian Colon. Colon stepped into the batter's box in the 12th inning with a winning run at third base and hit a single to left field off Mets pitcher Addison Reed, which gave the Royals a 3-2 lead. Colon is now the 4th former Titan to be on a World Series roster and the 7th Titan to win a World Series ring. In his first 3 seasons on the Fullerton's baseball team, Colon averaged a .349 batting average, and he ranks 4th in runs on the Titans' all-time career record book. Congratulations to the Kansas City Royals and Christian Colon. Way to bring us some Titan pride.
2 weeks ago, Red Bull and the Legends Board Shop on Chapman hosted a skate jam that had pro and amateur skaters skating through the CSUF campus. After rolling through campus, the skaters met at a nearby parking lot for the competition portion of the day. Cal State Fullerton's own Alex Midler represented the Titans in the competition, which aims to promote the college skate scene.
On Sunday, the Muckenthaler Teen Arts Center held a Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead festival, at Kramer Memorial Park in Placentia. The festival was also sponsored by the California Arts Council and had a busy arts and crafts booth. The Ballet Folklore Monte Alban was on hand to give a performance, and there was even a kids-only mariachi band, making the event fun for the whole family.
A couple of weeks ago, I spoke to Alana Hodge, president of the Weightlifting Club, and head coach Adam Manolovitz to see what their weightlifting club is all about and to see how I'd fare doing some of their workouts. Let's take a look. I am here with Alana Hodge, who's the president of the Cal State Fullerton Weightlifting Club. So, tell us a little bit about your club.
Well, we started in 2012 by 4 girls who knew nothing about weightlifting. Our advisor is Dr. Andy Galpin, and he's actually been to some national competitions. Basically, our mission is develop athletes, teach anyone from beginners to experienced lifters.
So anyone can join, right?
Yeah, anyone. You don't have to be a student. You can be any age, any experience level.
So how long have you been weightlifting?
About a little over 2 years now.
So how many people do you guys have in the weightlifting club?
We have about 50 active members right now. This is probably the biggest meeting time, and then we have open gym later in the day.
So what made you want to get into weightlifting?
I met our head coach, who's over there, Adam, and we had a class together, and he started talking about the club, and so I just decided to come and try it. Sounded interesting, so why not?
I usually write up programs for people.
I talked to the head coach, Adam Manolovitz, as to what his role is in the Cal State Fullerton Weightlifting Club.
What is this?
She's about to do a complex, which is basically where you string together a couple exercises in one. Hopefully, if done well, her clean will look pretty. Yeah. So here you'll see her set up. So that's a clean pull. She'll do one more. And after that, she'll hit 2 cleans. Good. And then last clean right here. Cool. Good job.
Awesome. Looks like something I cannot do. Nice.
Of course, I had to give it a shot. I had to see what this weightlifting club was all about. Alana coached me through a deadlift. She told me to keep my back straight, shoulders broad, and pinch at the top. I had no idea what I was doing, but Alana believed in me. Maybe because I was using the lightest weights possible, but besides that, I did a pretty good job.
If I were a beginner, how would I be able to join the club?
All you have to do to join our club is come to our room, KHS 1003, and sign a waiver, a medical history form, and you're in.
All right, you heard that. My name is Evan Boydson, reporting for The Report. Have a good one. Sending it back to you.
NBC reports more than 300 people were arrested over the weekend at a 2-day electronic musical festival in Pomona. More than 148 ravers were arrested on night 1 of the Hard Day of the Dead festival at the Pomona Fairplex, and more than 162 people were arrested on Sunday. The arrests were mostly related to public intoxication and being under the influence of or possessing a controlled substance. The age limit for attendees was raised to 21 for this year's Halloween rave after 2 young women died of suspected drug overdoses at another hard rave earlier this year. However, about 100 people were arrested for having fake IDs. County supervisors have called raves a, quote, public threat, end quote, and have called for a ban on such raves on county-owned facilities.
4 people were stabbed Wednesday morning on the campus of UC Merced by an 18-year-old freshman. CNN reports the suspect has been identified as Faisal Mohammed, a computer science and engineering major from Santa Clara, California. On Thursday, it was revealed Mohammed left behind a 2-page manifesto in which he described his attack plan. Merced County Sheriff Vern Warnk told reporters Mohammed was angry because he had been kicked out of a study group, ruling out a possible political motive. Mohammed was shot and killed at the scene, and the injuries to the victims are not believed to be life-threatening. CNN reports classes will resume today.
The OC Register reported Wednesday that the Kraft Heinz manufacturing plant in Fullerton will close its doors in the next 2 years, leaving more than 400 people out of work. Kraft Heinz would not say when they would shut down the Fullerton plant for sure, but it is one of the 6 other facilities that will be closing in the coming years. Michael Mullen, Kraft Heinz Senior Vice President of Corporate and Government Affairs, said, quote, "Our decision to consolidate manufacturing across the Kraft Heinz North America network is a critical step in our plan to eliminate excess capacity and reduce operational redundancies," end quote. The OC Register reports affected employees will receive severance benefits, outplacement services, and other support.
Chicago Police Superintendent Gary McCarthy told reporters Thursday that a 9-year-old boy was shot and killed in Chicago Alley this week, per CNN. McCarthy said the little boy, whose name was Tyshawn Lee, was targeted because of his, quote, family relationship with a member of a gang, end quote. The boy's father is the family member in question and is not cooperating with police. CNN reports no arrests have been made in Tyshawn's case, but that police are looking for a number of people. Tyshawn's death is the latest in a series of gang-related events that go back as far as August.
Well, that's all we have on this edition of The Report. Join us next time for more up-to-date news, views, and info to go. Thank you. I'm Lena Agulian.
I'm Sarah Fenton.
I'm Hiba Berry.
And I'm Evan Boydston. Stay fresh, Fullerton.